Many blessings, everybody. This is Dr. César from Homiesempowerment and HECHOS. I'm coming to you from Oakland, California, and these have been some difficult times. I'm not even sure how to get into the topic because we don't seem to talk about depression, mental health, and suicide too often. And when we do, it's after tragedy happens or we speak the unspeakable. And I think it's important that everybody break that silence, especially within certain communities where we never talk about mental health. I think it is absolutely critical. Right now, it's hard to not be anxious. It's hard to not be overwhelmed. How are you dealing with it? Are you dealing with it in a healthy way? What I've been learning on this journey over the last 46 years of living is that there's so many different ways to deal with this, but I didn't oftentimes have tools to process what was going on in my mind. Back in the day, in the late 80s, early 90s, there was a hip hop group called the Ghetto Boys, and they came out with a song called My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me. And oftentimes I'm thinking, is my mind playing tricks on me? What I didn't know is that in the field of psychology, there's this thing called ANTs, automatic negative thoughts. And 90% of our thoughts may be that way, and that's actually normal. It might be a thought that comes that maybe this world would be better off without me. That's a heavy thing to say. Sometimes we think that and we start to feel that, and it starts to impact our entire mood and what's going on and how we're feeling about ourselves in the world. I want to just speak to you directly and be honest. Every single one of you were born for a sacred purpose. There's no one exactly like you on this earth. Even if you have a twin, even if you're triplets, they're not the same. That's your brother, that's your sister, but it's not you. You were born for a sacred purpose. However, this world can get really difficult. If you're going through a hard time right now with this quarantine, with the coronavirus and everything else, it might be feeling like it's a wrap, like it's over, like I got nobody to talk to, like I can't even open up, like I'm having all of these thoughts. And so you deserve what they call mental health. And sometimes when we talk about mental health, someone says in a really negative sort of way, well, isn't that for somebody who's crazy? No. Every single human being has a mind. Every single human being deserves to have a healthy mind. And if you're going through a hard time, you deserve to have someone to talk to. There's even national hotlines that are on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. One of them, I'm going to put the phone number down here, but I'm going to tell it to you. It's 1-800-273-8255. That is the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline that you could call at any time. But sometimes you might be feeling like, I don't know. They're not going to understand me. They don't know me. They don't understand my reality. That may be partly true, but there are a lot of human beings out there that care. And like I was telling you earlier, you have been born for a sacred purpose. Listen, doesn't matter what age you are, whether you're 5 years old, 15 years old, 35 years old, 55 years old, you've already weathered so many years of living. If you're 5, you weathered 4 years of living and you're still alive for a purpose. And the question is, what is my purpose on this earth? What am I called to do? But you're called to be amazing and to do great things. It doesn't mean you're not in pain, but how do we deal with our pain in a healthy way? Now, in some of our neighborhoods, they have a liquor store on every block trying to numb us with alcohol, so we deal with our pain that way. You have all these liquor stores on every block in a lot of barrios, in a lot of hoods, just waiting for us to walk in and to numb ourselves and to knock ourselves out. But you know what? It never really takes the pain out completely. Then you have all kinds of drugs that are there waiting to do the same thing. The thing is, we're so close to overdosing that we might not come back from that. Sometimes the pain feels so difficult and painful that we feel like maybe it's my time to go. But I just want to speak to you directly and say, I hope that you are able to realize how sacred you are. I hope that you realize that you're the only you on this earth and we need you. We need you with your good heart. We need you with your good thoughts. We need you out here in this world doing beautiful and amazing things. But I know that this journey is a difficult one. So what I was saying earlier is that mental health, what I learned, and I learned this from these amazing therapists at a place called Homeboy Industries, they said to me, going to see a therapist is just spending one sacred hour on you getting to tell your story and learning to understand your story from different ways. I could tell you that I was abandoned by my father, and yes, he did leave, but that's not the only way to tell the story. I've been learning to remember that my grandmother never left, and my grandmother, may she rest in peace, was always there. So I've been carrying this abandonment journey all of my life. And yet my grandma was always here. My mom has always been here, but I kept missing the father who walked out of my life. And I had this hole in my heart, and I kept trying to fill it with things and people. But see, no one else completes me. Not even my amazing wife of 18 plus years. She's utterly amazing. But I complete myself, and you complete yourself. If there's a horrible breakup, oh yes, it's painful. Oh yes, it's difficult. You best believe. But when you came out the womb, you were only attached to one human being with an umbilical cord, and that human being was your mama. And somebody cut the umbilical cord because they knew you would be able to breathe on your own. You no longer needed to be in the womb. It was time for you to come out. It was time for you to breathe on your own. Of course you can breathe on your own. And what I want to speak to you about is the power of breathing. Believe it or not, so much of our mental health is connected to our ability to do deep breathing. Because see, we have a part of our brain through this thing called neuroscience, which is the study of the brain, that teaches us that there's a part of our brain called the amygdala. And that's the part of our brain that is trying to perceive, are we in danger? And it freezes, it fights, or it flights, it takes off. And so our amygdala is always sometimes fearful because it's trying to protect us. So thank you, amygdala, for trying to hook me up and protect me. But I'm not always in danger just because I have a thought. What if, what if, what if? I have to learn how to control my mind and not let my mind control me. And one of the ways to do that is to be able to breathe a certain kind of way and to do something that's called meditation. Now, I didn't grow up kind of hearing about this stuff. For me, this is new. I'm no expert at it. There's a lot of experts that are watching. You might be that expert. But there's a power when you take a deep breath in like this. If you're watching, would you please take a deep breath like this and hold it. Breathe out. When you take a deep breath like that, what you're doing is you're sending messages to your brain. And when you're breathing in deeply and you're saying to your amygdala and to your brain, I'm okay. I'm not in danger. I might be fearful. I might be scared. I might be going through some things. But as I take these deep breaths over and over again, what I'm saying to my brain, relax. I have a lot of thoughts that are coming. Many of them are automatic negative thoughts, but they're just thoughts. Some of these thoughts are, what if I don't make it tomorrow? What if it doesn't go my way? What if, what if, what if, what if, what if? But I need to remind myself of what is. The what is that you're alive and that I'm alive. The what is that you're breathing and I'm breathing. And I want to give thanks for breath because breath is life. So many people are tied up to machines that are no longer able to breathe. Listen, you're breathing. That's a victory. It's a victory. And some of us may not have access to hearing or to seeing or to being able to walk, but people continue to still live. You might have access to the ability to see. Do you see your sacredness? Do you see how much you matter? Do you see your potential? Now, what I started to do is I started to learn to do something called meditation. And what I began to do in this thing called guided meditation is I began to record audios for myself, and then I would listen to them of things that I needed to walk through and think about because my thoughts were scaring me, but I wasn't becoming aware of my thoughts. So I had to do this. And I'd like to do this with you right now. If you're able to get comfortable, if you're able to get chill, if you're able to be in a good space, would you please, if you're able to sit up straight, or if you're laying down, lay down in a good way, just get comfortable. We're going to try a small meditation to see how it works. All right? Would you go ahead and close your eyes? Or if you're more comfortable watching, just kind of lower your gaze so that you're not focused on my face or me, but maybe just the words. Would you please take a deep breath in and hold it? Breathe out. If you're feeling any kind of fear or anxiety or nervousness, would you please quietly bring that forward and name what it is that you're worried about in the next few seconds? Please go ahead and do so now. Now, if you believe in the Great Spirit, in God, if you believe in yourself, if you believe in your inner pilot light, if you believe in Mother Earth, would you send thoughts to that energy? Some people call it prayers. Would you ask that energy? It could be yourself, it could be God, it could be Mother Earth, whatever you believe in. Send your best thoughts to that energy and ask for what you need to deal with your anxiety. Please ask for what you need right now. Please go ahead and take a deep breath in and hold it. Breathe out. You know, sometimes we forget to count our blessings. Breathing is a blessing. Being able to talk, being able to see, being able to hear, being able to walk. Whatever blessing you may have, not all of us may have access to those, but it doesn't mean we're not blessed. Would you please go ahead and think about all of the blessings that exist in your life, including with the fact that you're still breathing? Please do so now. Please go ahead and take a deep breath in and hold it. Breathe out. One of my teachers, Jerry Theo, says it's hard to feel like you're sacred when you are scared. And that's understandable. But you are sacred and you are a blessing. Would you please repeat after me to yourself quietly? I am sacred. I am a blessing. Please go ahead and take a deep breath in and hold it. Breathe out. What I'd like to ask you to do is to bring in an ancestor to visit you. It could be a family member, it could be a grandmother, a grandfather, or it could be a historical figure like you might not have ever known or could have known, someone like Harriet Tubman. But you know her as someone who never gave up, who fought against slavery in the most difficult of times, and she walked by faith. Would you ask Harriet Tubman to visit you right now, or your grandmother to visit you right now, and ask that ancestor to give you the beautiful blessing that you deserve and need? Please have an ancestor visit you right now and have them speak to you. Please go ahead and take a deep breath in and hold it. Breathe out. Now, as you think about your life, as you think about your thoughts, as you think about what you've gone through, would you please offer to yourself what you need right now in this moment to be well? What is it that you need? Would you name that for yourself right now? Please take a deep breath in and hold it. Breathe out. At this time, would you remind yourself, I am still alive. I have a purpose. I can be at peace. I deserve peace. I can control my thoughts. I can control my mind. I just have to get back to my breathing. Please take a deep breath in and hold it. Breathe out. At this time, when you look back on your life's journey, what are you thankful for? And it might be that you're still waking up. Please go ahead and name all the things that you're thankful for. Please do so now. When you think about your life, what is your purpose on this earth? What is your sacred purpose? In a moment, I'm going to ask you to name that. And if you don't know what your purpose is, please take this moment to ask, what is my purpose? And to explore that, because you've survived so much and you're still here for a sacred purpose. Please ask the universe, what am I here to do? And begin to hear that call. Please go ahead and either think about, name, or wonder what your sacred purpose is on this earth. Please do so now. Now, your sacred purpose is not complete. We need you on this earth. And if you haven't figured out what it is, that's okay. It's about asking those questions. Now, as we close out this part of the meditation, please share with yourself anything else that you might need before we close out. But before doing so, please take a deep breath in and hold it. Breathe out. What else might you need at this moment to be at a place of peace? Please offer that to yourself right now. Would you please remember that yes, we can be anxious and that there's real fears out there, but you are learning to calm yourself. You are counting your blessings. You are remembering you are sacred. You are hearing from your ancestors. You are remembering your sacred purpose. You are remembering all that you are thankful for. And when you put all of that together, we need you. This world needs you. Would you continue to be sacred to yourself? Would you continue to be a blessing to yourself? And if you are able to, would you be a blessing to someone else? Thank you so much. You may go ahead and open your eyes and come back from the meditation. You know,
There are no magic pills. There are no magic formulas. There are no, if you read this book, everything gets better. It's a process. And everything is about developing practices. And you have to practice a lot these meditations so that it becomes a practice in your life, in our lives. But meditation alone won't do it. It's also about taking care of our bodies, because every time that we run, every time that we dance, every time that we jog, every time that we do yoga, every time that we work out, and you can do so from home with your phone. You open up a video about working out at home or doing cardio. When you start to sweat, these endorphins come out. They call this, the happy chemicals, and they help with our brain development, and they help us out tremendously. So working out is key. What we eat is key. A lot of the chemicals that they put in fast food, I didn't know this, but they're bringing me down. They're bringing down my energy. So what would it mean if I started every morning with some juices? And it might be things I had never messed with before, like kale and spinach, but you mix that with some apples and some carrots and you blend all of that together, it starts to get delicious. And you put these vitamins inside of you because your body is a temple. And all of a sudden, you stop eating less processed food, and it doesn't have to be expensive. I shop at the local liquor store. I shop at the local small store, and I get what I can. But as you begin to eat healthier, your body starts to feel healthier. As you're losing weight or you're toning up, you start to feel better about yourself. As you have these mental health practices, that's important. But none of that may be enough. You also deserve professional time, sacred time to talk about your issues. And if you feel like you're having real mental health issues, nothing wrong with that. No shame in that at all. You deserve to reach out to that hotline. You deserve to find a mental health professional and to seek someone that could really listen and help guide you. I know you can do this. I just want to say thank you for taking the time to listen. I want to say thank you for opening up this subject. If you'd like to do this meditation again, just go back to it. But your mental health matters. You matter. Your life matters. You have a sacred purpose. I am so excited to hear about your journey. Would you email us? We're at homiesempowerment@gmail.com, and let us know how it's going. And I want to ask you a favor. I want you to write yourself a love letter from your ancestors. What would someone who deeply loves you want you to know? Would you write yourself a love letter? It might have been from an auntie, from a parent, from a brother, from a sister, from a grandmother, or from an elder that you imagine, like a Malcolm X, or a Lolita Lebron, or a César Chavez. Have them write you a love letter. For me, it would start, Dear César, this is your imaginary Tío Malcolm X and your real grandmother Maria del Socorro. We have something to tell you. We know you're going through a lot. We know you're in a lot of pain. But listen, we believe in you. We believe in your voice. You have a reason on this earth. We need you to teach. We need you to stand up. We need you to not just see the negatives in your life. Yes, come to terms with them. Yes, accept them. But love yourself. No one else completes you but you. You're on this earth for a reason. We fundamentally believe it. And little by little, as you write these love letters from the ancestors to you, you're going to start to notice something. You matter. Your life matters. You're here for a sacred purpose. You are the one that we have been waiting for. Please take care of yourself. Please be good to yourself. If you're going through it, reach out. Don't forget to pray, to meditate, to do yoga, to run, to eat healthy, to live your most sacred and most beautiful life. Thank you so much for all the time you have given yourself by checking this out. Many blessings to you. And in the way that I pray, Meshikatiawi, Ashe, and Amen.